Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Stevenson. Welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a very serious show for you guys here today. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and sub to the channel. Be sure to follow me on Instagram. My handle is CTABANZ. So let's get into today's topic. So it was just yesterday, or day before yesterday, depending on when you're seeing this show, that we produced the show that was centered on a story that came out surrounding the Shannon Sharpe case. We reported on what an article that we got from Complex said, which the headline stated, Shannon Sharpe's accuser attorney, a no-show in court for first appearance. Now, I'm going to quickly read just some of the things it says. It says Shannon Sharpe's accuser was a no-show in the downtown Las Vegas courtroom, forcing the case to be adjourned for 45 days. The Las Vegas CBS affiliate was on hand in court on Wednesday, July 9th. Clark County Court Judge Anna Albertson granted an adjournment on the case for 45 days after the ex-NFL stars Robert DeMarco requested it on the client's behalf. It continues on. A follow-up hearing is scheduled for September 3rd in the same courthouse. Judge Albertson was reported to be disappointed that no one from the plaintiff's side appeared on the client's behalf, prompting some legal analysts to speculate that things weren't looking good for the accuser. Speaking to a CBS affiliate, attorney Robert, who does not represent either side, said that it was not in Shannon Sharpe's accuser's best interest to not appear in court. Whether to set up a settlement conference or to set a hearing for litigation, you'd expect all parties to be present. He said, "I can't see a tactical advantage to be gained by failing to appear." And then the article then said a few other things there, right? So we reported on this, we gave our take on it, and people said what they had to say. Then late last night, it seems like some other news came out which is disputing what this gentleman is saying, what this report is saying, and now we're hearing that Shannon Sharpe's team issued an apology, right? So we got another report here. This is from India Times. It says this Shannon Sharpe lawsuit just started and it's already chaos in the court, with Tony Buzbee clapping back at no-show reports, and continues on. What looked like a courtroom no-show has now been cleared up. The first hearing in a civil lawsuit accusing Shannon Sharpe of sexual assault was delayed this week, but not because the accuser's legal team flaked. According to both sides, it was a scheduling mix-up, and Sharpe's team has now issued a formal apology to the judge for wasting the court's time. Initial reports suggested a no-show, but Tony Buzbee and Shannon Sharpe's lawyers now clarify what really happened. Earlier this week, reports from various outlets made it seem like the plaintiff's legal team simply failed to show up to the July 9th hearing. Even the judge, Anna Albertson, reportedly expressed disappointment at the absence, but now plaintiff's attorney Tony Buzbee has spoken out on X, formerly known as Twitter, setting the record straight. According to Buzbee, both sides had mutually agreed to postpone the hearing ahead of time. The problem? Sharpe's legal team forgot to remove the hearing from the court's calendar. Now, I want to go to show you guys what Tony Buzbee posted on his page not too long ago, and he even pinned Shannon Sharpe's apology, at least a post from the Daily Mail. It says, "No, we didn't miss a hearing. We don't miss hearings. What happened was that Sharpe's legal team agreed that we didn't need the hearing, but they mistakenly failed to remove it from the court's docket. Here's the statement they issued. Statement by Shannon Sharpe's legal team. We apologize to the court by letter for wasting the court's time. There was a mutual agreement among counsel to postpone the motion scheduled for July 9th. As a result, there was no expectation by our team that her legal team would appear in person. Y'all can simmer down." And if you scroll a little bit further down, you can see from the Daily Mail Sports, it says, first hearing in Shannon Sharpe's $50 million sexual assault lawsuit delayed as defense issues apology to court. Folks, this thing is chaotic already, right? It's already chaotic. The first day, like many of us, we thought, oh, these guys refused to show up to court. We heard that the only person that showed up was the plaintiff. And I'm like, well, what kind of case is this? I mean, if you guys are filing a $50 million lawsuit against Shannon Sharpe, one would have thought y'all would have been the first people at the courtroom. I mean, one would have thought y'all would have opened up the damn court with the janitors, right? So a lot of us were taken aback, and some of us began to speculate, well, what kind of case is this? if you guys are not willing to even show up to court. And then we read that the judge was disappointed in all of those things. But now to hear that, in fact, the issue is coming from the defense side. And, in fact, this thing was already meant to be postponed to July, to another date. It now makes me begin to wonder, well, what the hell is going on here? Now, let me give you guys my overall take, a macro take on this entire situation here. First of all, I think Shannon Sharpe's legal team wants to get this thing through with as quickly as possible. Why? Number one, no one wants to remain in the news, in the press, for allegations like this, and it's a gory case. That's the first thing. The second thing, if you guys remember, Shannon Sharpe stepped down from his position at ESPN. He was on ESPN First Take, and when he went on the show, he was a boon for that show. I mean, on certain days, they were pulling in over 800,000+ viewers. Like, it was absolutely insane. And he was on top of the world. His podcast was doing very well. I'm sure his podcast is still doing well now. But when you're visible on the #1 morning sports show in the United States, it really helps your overall brand. And ever since Shannon has departed from ESPN, or stepped away from ESPN, however you want to characterize it, he's not been in the news cycle the way that he used to, which goes to show you the power of being on TV. The second thing is this. In Shannon Sharpe's public statement that he issued originally, I think we have some of the comments. This we're reading from Complex. It says, to my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. Shannon Sharpe said in the video release, this is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself, but because this isn't right. We also later on heard that Shannon Sharpe intended to return back to ESPN for NFL season. Well, now if this case is going to get bogged down, if it's going to get slowed down, that jeopardizes that, right? It prolongs his return to television. Based on what I think, I don't know the details of the case, I think Shannon's team is probably going to be pushing for some type of settlement. That's what I think. Why? Because according to reports, allegedly they had already offered her a $10 million settlement, and she refused it. So it means that they were willing to work with these guys to essentially make this story go away. From my standpoint, I think that's where I think that he just wants this thing to go away because it's interfering with too many things. If you guys remember, before this story broke, Shannon Sharpe was in line to land a $100 million podcast deal for his podcast. $100 million. We're not even talking about that anymore. So he wants this to go away fast because sponsors obviously are going to shy away from these type of allegations. So my take is this case is going to be dealt with pretty quickly. That's the way I see it. But for now, it just seems to be very chaotic with all of these various reports that are conflicting with each other. So what I want to know from you guys, what do you think about this new report? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. We catch you on the next show.